listen, everybody's talking about walking by faith. Do y'all know what that really means? Walking by faith and not by sight is just one part of the faith walk. Y'all got to understand, faith without works is dead. You know what that means? You can't expect what you believe in for without doing your part. You gotta work that thing, honey. It's not just gonna drop out of the sky. You got to put your time in. You got to ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that, so you can do what you supposed to do and excel in it. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you. What you waiting on? Do your part. God ain't gonna do everything for you. And this is where you gotta stay focused, because things are gonna happen that's gonna make it seem like your vision is not gonna happen. But stay focused, because God is always gonna send you a ram and a bush. But sometimes God gonna have to see, how bad do you want it? It's gonna be nice that you got to cry. It's gonna be nice that you feel hopeless and helpless. And in those moments, watch God send you a little angel. He's gonna cause you to be at the right place at the right time. Worry about what you can do. Nothing else. Just do your part and watch God meet you halfway. Do you believe that? Now I'm trying to give you some news that you can use. Is you listening? Do you hear me? Or are you just sitting over there worried about that I'm only 5? See, don't miss the message because of the messenger. Get this word and apply it to your life. The only reason why I can talk about this is because, honey, I'm living it. Nothing came to me easily. I had to work hard and stay dedicated. And then things start opening up for me. Now, I'm not bragging. God gets the glory out of my story. He give me the strength every day to do what I got to do. And he can do it for you too. All you got to do is ask for it. Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 say, ask and then you will receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open for you. Stop sitting around acting like you waiting on God. Baby, God waiting on you. All right now.
This is part true. And you won't find very many people who are Afro-American who will admit it. But if it is true, why? It is true that there is a sluggishness, intellectual sluggishness, academic sluggishness in almost any Negro community. But this exists only because of the result that has come upon us through years and years of slavery and being held down in this society. And this is why I made reference to the book Crisis in Black and White. This particular man gives a very good scientific analysis as to why this lethargy exists in the Negro community. It is something that has been created by the system. The system is designed to make the Negro student lose his interest in education almost before he even gets started in school. And the parents, usually, who are also limited where education is concerned and who have run into so many barriers and obstacles despite the fact they had education, sometimes they ask themselves, what's the use? So as long as the system that we are in exists, and this system, the survival of this system, depends upon the continued exploitation of the black man in this country. The survival of it depends upon the continued degrading of the black man in this country and the necessity of using us as the whipping boy and the alibi and the excuse. As long as this system exists, then you will find that our people will have the same attitude toward education. And they have a justified I should say they have an attitude that can be explained. But at the same time, the burden rests upon the leaders of the Afro-American community to try and instill within the youth especially the desire to further their education, because without it, you're not going anywhere on this earth today.
And both of these are hard to come by. This one isn't as hard to come by as this one, but this one is called Africa's Lost Past, the startling rediscovery of a continent. And this was put together by professors who were commissioned by the nations that belonged to the UN after the Africans got their independence. After the Africans got their independence, they expressed complete indignation over the misrepresentation that the African continent had received while they were under the domination of the white man. So they pressured the UN to take some of the leading scientists of this day to delve into the true history of Africa and compile a pamphlet on the lost civilizations. And so this book is a record put out by the UN, endorsed by the UN, which means it has the recognition and endorsement of all civilized, free, and independent nations on this earth. And in this book, it tells you, in a nutshell, about the Islamic civilizations that existed in Africa in the 8th century. The Islamic civilization. You know what that means? Muslim civilization. It means, please, it means that the Muslim empire, that the Muslim religion, that the Muslim culture, Muslim civilization was throughout West Africa in the area called Ghana, Guinea, Ivory Coast, Gold Coast, Nigeria, all down through there. Vast Muslim empire in the 8th century. You know what I mean by 8th century? In the year 700 something. Wait a minute. 8th century. Yeah, right? Yeah, 700 something. This means 800 years before America was discovered. 800 years before America was discovered. 800 years before you were kidnapped and brought here. I have to emphasize kidnapped and brought here because some of y'all think you come over here as pilgrims on the Mayflower. But 800 years before our forefathers were kidnapped and brought here, the white man admits today that the Islamic civilization, the Muslim civilization, stretched throughout Africa. And he has to admit it now. And just to read you one paragraph from this book to show you why he didn't want to go into it. And frankly, in one of our court cases in Buffalo, New York, a couple of weeks ago, the white man, because he couldn't get a Muslim to testify against Mr. Muhammad, he went to Columbia University and found a Jew professor who was supposed to have been an expert on Islam. And he paid this Jew to come as his witness for the state and try and prove that Mr. Muhammad wasn't a real Muslim, and also that there was no Islamic culture in Africa, that it's wrong to tell Negroes that we should be Muslims now because we were Muslim then, because there was no Muslim civilization in Africa. This is what this old man testified to, white man. So naturally, Allah blessed us to have this book from the UN, and he had to recognize it. Here in one paragraph it says, but the ancient capital of Ghana has another claim to distinction. It was the cradle of the Negro Islamic culture which flourished in the Sudan from the 8th century to our own day. Think of that. Bringing to fame such centers as Timbuktu and Djinn. Now, you know, brothers and sisters, you and I never heard of Timbuktu. When I was in school, they talked that Timbuktu talk. I thought Timbuktu was in California. And I went to school in Michigan. They never let us know that Timbuktu was in Africa. But here now they are saying that Timbuktu was one of the centers of learning in an Islamic civilization that existed in Africa 700 or 800 years before America was discovered. This is good. And when the man was trying to say that there was no, he also went on, but they read this paragraph, which said, In some ways, the most valuable of all the Arab sources are the first-hand reports of the two, as far as I know, the only two Arab traveler authors who made extensive journeys through the Western Sudan. And by Western Sudan in those days, they meant Africa. All of Africa was called the Sudan, because Sudan is an Arabic word that means, it's plural for black. When you say Sudan, you're talking about the land of the blacks. So here, it's speaking of these two Arabs who made journeys through the Western Sudan, which means West Africa. Ibn Battuta and Leo Africanus, both were remarkable men. Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Battuta, notice how they call him, they didn't say Jim Jones. Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Battuta, that's the kind of name you had before you came here, was born at Tangier in 1304. Pick up on this, 1304. America wasn't discovered until 1492. That's almost 200 years later. And spent the greater part of his life traveling through the Muslim world of his day, visiting Arabia, Asia Minor, Khorasan, India, China, and Indonesia, as well as West Africa. You notice now what he said. He traveled through the Muslim world. And all of these countries that he traveled in were parts of the Muslim world. And he said, as well as West Africa. And see, the white men have taught you and me that in Africa, West Africa, people was eating, they were cannibals, like this cracker tried to say last night on the television. Which he reached in 1352. At this time, the empire of Mali still dominated the Western Sudan, and Ibn Battuta gives an extremely interesting and human account of some of its institutions. Here's what he says. Speaking in the year 1352, 100 and some years before the discovery of America, quote, "The Negroes possess some admirable qualities." Now what you have to understand is, he didn't say Negroes, because he wrote this in Arabic. And these white professors have translated what Ibn Battuta wrote in Arabic into English. And so they're saying Negroes, but wherein Battuta, when he wrote it, he didn't say Negroes, because they didn't call black people Negroes in those days. See, you have to know all this in order to really read between the lines. The Negroes, meaning us, this is before America was discovered, possess some admirable qualities. They are seldom unjust, have a greater abhorrence of injustice than any other people. Let's pick up on it. Here this man, before America is discovered, is talking about black people are different from white people. Isn't that what he said? He said black people are against injustice. Black people are more so against injustice than any other people are against injustice. Why, this follows, you know the white man is not against injustice. He wouldn't have this country if he was. And he wouldn't have you here if he was. You wouldn't be as dumb as you are if the white man was against injustice. Don't be angry when I say you wouldn't be as dumb as you are. Because when I say, I mean we, all of us, we're all in the same boat. And we're dumb. Don't say we're not. How are we going to be in this boat if we weren't dumb? You can't put a wise man in this kind of shape, and we're in bad shape. You don't get in this kind of shape being wise. You get in this kind of shape being dumb. Right or wrong? Let's see. So he says here, their sultan, meaning their ruler, shows no mercy to anyone who is guilty of the least act of injustice. Without, you see, our civilization then was so right. It was right. Didn't have nothing but justice. No crime, no stealing, no fairies running around like you got throughout the Negro community today. There is complete security in their country. Talking about the civilization where you and I live. Complete security, no robbers, no murderers. Rather, this actually is describing heaven. This is what the man is doing. He is describing a civilization that has such high morals such a high sense of morality that it's almost like being in heaven. Neither traveler nor inhabitant in their country has anything to fear from robbers or men of violence. They are careful to observe the hours of prayer. On Fridays, if a man does not go early to the mosque, he cannot find the corner to pray in on account of the crowd. So many people go to the mosque to pray on Friday. The man says that if you don't get there ahead of time, you can't get in. Because these people by nature are religious. These people by nature turn to Allah to give praise and to give thanks. Brother, this is being written 200 years before the white man knew that the earth was round.
No one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Better must come one day. Better must come. They can't conquer me. Better must come, yeah. I've been trying a long, long time, but I can't make it. No one to keep me in helping hand. They only trying to keep me down. No one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Oh, my people can't see. They try to take advantage of me. Better must come. Better must come, yeah. Better must come one day. Better must come. Yeah, 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 yeah. I can't make it. Everything I try to do seems to go wrong. It seems I have done something wrong. Why they trying to keep me down? Oh, God bless, no one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Better must come one day. Better must come. They can't conquer me. Better must come one day. Better must come. Oh, better must come one day. Better must come. I better must come. Better must come. Better must come.
Yes, greetings with the radio things and times. Yeah, man. We are touchdown. We are going good. See? Yeah, that we like. So we give thanks and praise to each and everybody out there. I want to talk a little bit about those people them who are sweep sand from around the ocean. I tell you, somebody has set them up or some system has set them up and they don't like the best of themselves. But we want to continue with Delroy and then we bubble a few with something and then we finish. You know what I mean? Because it's good that my encoder work and I'm able to bring back Malachi Shabazz, Alma Wali, Malcolm X, you know. So those who have been always mystified about Islam and Africa, this is not Carter G. Wilson, you know. You understand? Okay. And we have traveled, right? And I say we because we are dealing with centuries ago and not currently. And currently we have traveled too. And we are reading. You understand? We are researching. We are researching from the continent. not outside the continent in the diaspora. There's a big difference, you see. So we're not going to publish arguments. We're going to reflect lifestyle, the liberty, the living, the standard of Al-Islam. We're not in the time for all them bushwhacking something. You see? Okay. But we will also put on the cross those who are say that the Quran is this and the Quran is that. We're not letting that go. You understand? Now, Allah never tell me for defending her. You see? But this is human nature. See? Because most of those people, they are extraordinarily popular. You know what I mean? If you want to get popular, you can just start with woman and what them look like and what they don't look like and everything, and just put a few on screen, you know, derogatory something. And YouTube allow it, you know what I mean? And Facebook is doing it too. You see what I mean? So things that have educational properties, you know what I mean, and so on, them come with something. You understand? All the time, them come with something. Or they want you to go up to premium. I'm not premium. Second, when you look upon, and this is newsflash, when you look upon the carnival, you understand? And know the origin of the carnival. Why was the carnival brought to England as a pacifier for us? Huh? Then you see how weak-minded we have been up to now. Now the carnival has not built any institutions for us. The carnival didn't seek the people them of the carnival, Claudette Jones and all her associates and the politicians them from the Caribbean that was involved, never sought justice for culture. You see? Because the carnival was a pacifier based on someone being murdered. You understand? Murdered. Not just beat up, you know. And no justice. But yet still we are celebrate. And the people them in social science and psychology and sociology look upon us and see that we are fruitful set of people. See? Where other people are saying no, never again. We dance it off. Now out of the carnival and all the money that is made and generated, we ain't got no educational structure. We have got no infrastructure, but we have people always ready. Ready. You see? So who's looking silly? You understand? The Asian them have a whole heap of celebrations and customs, but it's all built within their community. It's all built within their culture, not community, culture. Huh? And it generates funds for them. Natural, Chinese, but the same. We're the only set of people that don't have no purpose. So when we see the English people, them used to get on a certain way with football and beat up one another and mash up the place and everything and get drunk and so forth. Not that they've stopped, but you know what I mean? It's not as gross as it was. We're like that. What am I saying that for? The habits of the people them to assimilation is what we have adopted. And carelessness not to look at ourselves. Huh? And then we have all these ministers of people and call themselves pastors of churches and everything. We're damn fools. Seriously. And you know like that me I say we are damn fools. I didn't say you, I say we are damn fools. You know? And when the crunch time come, then we're going to start what we are discuss. And who we are discuss with? Channel 4 and Channel 5. We're not discussing with ourselves. So, again, Pan-Africans, can't you see that there must be that same kind of behavior and attitude, mannerisms, that Marcus Garvey said, that black people will never know themselves until their back is against the wall. Huh? He had to come up against these obstacles. Huh? Lazy, no vision set of people. Huh? Seriously. When I must study what happened that hurt that man. Not the Hoover, nothing. What hurt that man was ourselves. What did not defend and represent that man was ourselves. Huh? And you don't have nothing where Garvey make dance. You don't have nothing where Garvey going with that kind of carnival. And, no bacchanal and ray and tear. Never. You understand? And I'm not a Garveyite, you know. I support what is good. You understand? And I'm saying I'm saying that wholeheartedly. You see? I have great admiration for him, and I know the advent of him. You understand? I do know that. But I will not classify myself as a Garveyite. And that's not because I'm saying that the people who said they are haven't done anything. They need to look at themselves. You understand? We have come 70-something years of Notting Hill Gate Carnival. Despite all these people that go get money about them and make documentary, this, that, and the other, make one of them sit back when them do the thing and say, hold on a minute. Is this, are we pacifiers for criminality? But they don't look at that. They just look at what is being projected to them, how to make some money and how to talk something that needs to be said to our children, but in our own spaces, not in someone else's space. You see? These are the problems. These are the problems. And then the people who tell this thing, really, they don't have no factual reality of anything. Because they're not dealing with the veterans, them, you know. Some of the veterans, them, is a shame. But then if you take that whole narrative and put it all together and condense it, then you say, well, 70 years, 75 years. And just the other day, I said what happened in Palestine. All the people then build a wonderful city, a wonderful, not the Palestinian. These people that left Europe and gone across, they and beat up Palestine and them and everything. You understand? Say, I forgive Jack him jacket because them have a wonderful state called Israel. Now somebody got time around and say how much multi-billions them get and everything. We're not talking that right now. We're talking the fact that that's what they wanted and that's what they've accomplished. Right? Now you go back to immigration and see that after the Second World War and even before the First World War, before the Second World War, we was recruited from the Caribbean and Africa and brought to England. We were trained and put in them army. After the war finished, we're the ones that were here. Huh? We're the ones that were here, helping them to restore them country, rebuild them country, and reaffirm the infrastructure. We, the black man, the African, Caribbean, and the Africans, right, had not a thing called Windrush. So now you take the Windrush and put in the immigration now, and you've watered on the immigration, and you diluted the immigration, and then you disperse the immigration because the people them from the immigration has not received anything. And then the one who prop up this country and rebuild this country. And they were sought after. They were taken out of those islands and brought here, handpicked. So now when you put them two words together, what you've done, right? What we have done, what you all have done, whoever this, the head of this goddamn Windrush something, naming, what you have done is diluted, depleted the immigration people, families. That's what you have done. And come now with this thing called Windrush, which is a handful of people, and it wasn't no several journeys. Why you did that? And y'all behave like say when you know England, right? And there are people here who are still alive. Who are still alive. My aunties over 100. Still alive. I said that twice, innit? Of course. And the Queen have gone. Now, King Charles is not going to speak for us down there because we're not already a lot. Keep up this Windrush thing and them celebrate that with you already. Enoch Paul was talking about the immigration. Enoch Paul and the conservative who brought us here. Our grandmothers and mothers and fathers in 1940 something. Now, who did the dividing and ruling in that segment? We jump because we're not organized. We jump and quick something get published, Windrush Square. Everything was started by these people, them assimilators, roast breadfruit. Assimilators. Because them have friend in a city hall and rare and tear. Anything for a £50 note. Sad. And all these well-educated set of people stand on the sideline. Huh? And they're enjoying themselves. And then when they get a screen, they want to talk something different. Different. And we don't bring those people to book. Because soon as the television screen comes on and the bright lights and the decoration of them face and everything, they want to be this Pan-African. They want to be this African activist. Huh? So we have got some strange standards, which is really none. So now everybody knows it. Give them some space. Allow them to have some free electricity. And don't talk anything, say anything about sexuality or human rights values. And don't throw no feminists in the space. Allow them. And then turn it round on them later. And that's what we're in now. They're degrading us because we've degraded ourselves. They're manipulating us because we've manipulated ourselves. And we haven't got nothing. Don't let spotlight and camera try come chicken. Because what they will be saying is just like the Bible. It's not reality. The reality is, was anybody arrested and charged with culpable murder? And the history was a pacifier was sorted after two diplomats and ambassadors and all other set of people, and then went down to the Caribbean with British consulates and so forth, and recruited a set of people and bring them back up here and take them down to a friend's house and say, yo, and them did that. They arranged everything, and that was it. The birth of dance, carnival, and everything to forget. Because them said time is a healer, to forget the tragedy, to forget the murder, to forget that we're humans, to forget that we have dignity, to forget all of that. And that's what we have done. And now look how much people, grey mongers and everybody, every different something is inside there. So there's nothing exclusive to us but jail and graveyards and hallelujah and amen. Am I sounding like a broken record? Yes, because it's factual. Delroy Wilson, come on. Marcia, come. Yo, Benji. I see you never get a star. You went to Bandulu, the people them, and set up Jew style. And you had no certificate, no nothing, no identification. You damn fool. You should have asked me, man. I'd tell you, it's better you stay home. Huh? And then you get your vehicle get booked. Huh? About you go check and come back. and the traffic warden looked just like you and me. And he wasn't dancing. He was taking photograph and writing up. Benji, seriously, you know, see me love you already, you know. So when you come, you just come back. See, a reasoning is supposed to be reasoning with me. I spend time with me, you know. But you go hustle. Your event hustle you. Yo. Hey, anyway, hold this, man. This go soothe you down and everything. I say you wasn't vexed. You put on a nice face and your pocket broke. You know, so me just switch my phone off, you know. Soon me get that message start, me switch my phone off. Because me know why I hear you start carrying on and ask me for help and everything. I know why I hear it. You know? So I switched my phone off. Yes, I did, man. I did. For real, I did. I switched it off. As soon as I get the message, what's happening to you, me switch my phone off, star. Me don't want to set up surgery and everything and for foolishness. Because you had no right going down there. About you try juice the people them. Which people, star? Eh? Which people? And you never had nothing authorized you to be there. You don't know that's how it works now. It's who you know, you know. You have to get people from the mayor and all these people, star. Right? And if you don't have the, you're joking. And the black people something, you know. It's everybody something. But you have to know somebody, you understand, to get through. But you have to try bandle the people then. So you what, enjoy yourself right now, man. Ease off and relax yourself. Marcia there, man. Aisha here, man. Come. Free up yourself. Delroy. Oh, gosh, Benji. What, man? Fix yourself up, man.
Turn and you walk through that door. It hurt me so, baby. I said it hurt me so, darling. When you look at me and you say goodbye.
See where I deal with a reggae music, you know. You think Sarah play some foolishness. Come, man.
Oh, baby. Baby, I need your loving. Baby, I need your loving. Although you never live.
Yo, Marcia, see them time there? we call these vocals, you know. And then come with an English thing called lovers rock. We call these vocals. See? Yeah.
Oh, baby.
And when you go at blues, you know, you see the whole house. The house seem like it a rain, you know. The water drip. You understand? Sweat, it hot. You understand? Seriously. The place cock. The room them cock. And the sound sounds sweet. And the selector place, wow.
Oh, baby. Baby, I need your loving. Baby, I need your loving. Although you're living in your voice, I often hear another day, another night. I long to hold you tight. The sound so lonely. Yes, I'm lonely, baby, baby. Baby, I need your loving. Got to have all your loving. Baby, I need your loving. Got to have all your loving. Some say it's a sign.
Yeah, you want to see my mother, you know. My mother had moves. Now watch this. This is my brother, you know. Woo, gosh, man. Come.
Oh, baby.
Yo, a reggae music, you know. Oh, hey, them Cimarrons and all them, man, they, you know. Enough respect, man. Tradition, Cimarrons. Oh, gosh, man. Moon rocks. Oh, God, man. And Sir Collins. Oh, gosh, man. These are groups. Oh. Rupee Edwards. Oh. Mr.
Oh, baby.
Yo, Sonny. Oh, man. Lord Coos. Oh. I tell you.
Oh, baby.
Sir Judge. Oh, man. Sir Judge.
Oh, baby.
The great Federal. I tell Rocky.
Oh, baby.
President. Isaac.
What am I living for? If it's not for you, baby. What am I living for? If it's not for you, baby.
Yeah, me I tell you, man. Man named Isaac, man. Isaac. Delroy Wilson, I feel him favorite, man. Isaac can sing all the Delroy Wilson rhythms. All him sound them. And him used to sound just like Delroy. Yeah? God bless your soul, man, and forgive you any faults, man. I tell you. Yeah, man, Isaac. So people who are going on in the world platform of news. In Zimbabwe, let me play the something and show people that the British establishment I go get some young ones, them, bring them across here, educate them and everything, and then push them out in a from Chatham House. See? So the election took place and everything. The people them started something, so they want recheck and reassess and everything. And so them requests, I saw their wishes were granted. And them lost. Okay. Now them a turn around and them a say that it's fraudulent and everything. Huh? These young people backed by England. Huh? You understand? Okay. Because the transition, is what we're not good at. You understand? And I'm a basketball coach. And I know about transitioning from offense to defense or from defense to offense. You have to. You have to be alert. But you also have to have strategy. You just can't do transition without strategy. So these people come now and they want to run Trump, American understanding over there with their British new friends, and so forth. And there's something that work. I know them I go around with them spilt milk and I chat all kind of something. See? So now you know, say that England, all that, the resources and all the training that they put in there and everything, them not going to feel good about it. Never. You understand? So we have to be supporting Zimbabwe. We can't sit back and just say, yo, the people. No, we did that nonsense with South Africa. And we've lost as African people. We didn't gain nothing. The atrocious poverty, everything is still there. So when people are run up them about South Africa, they might talk about the bright lights and everything. They might talk about white people. But they don't say white people now. They're talking about what they see there that's been established by those people. They don't talk about the poverty and everything that is a tragedy of the black African, South African people. They don't talk that. You understand? And you have people from England, just run go South Africa, You understand? And take their good money and get to those people and not help the one black people, And they won't even speak about them. They not talk about Cape Town and everything, Seriously. So, we don't want them foolish. Hey, you can start here about sanction this and, all kind of lamented things that could come out of Zimbabwe now that they didn't get their people in. Because remember Morgan Shangley and everything. That man there was working for this house here, Chatham House. You understand? So they want back the land and they want back the economics and everything. That's what they want. They want to control the place and they put two little black gimmicks up there and say, yeah. You understand? Okay. So far, so good. But we have to pay attention to that. Right? And I'm saying we, the people them who are positive. You understand? Not the we as in black people. Right? And today me hear somebody say, we keep say black. Where's the black land? Where's this black country? And that's what principle always are saying. You understand? So now we want to leave that because we want to finish and everything, And we'll go icky all over. So Aisha and Marcia, you know what I mean? Listen good, Cause you know about icky? Marcia. Marcia, your bright eyes, okay. Yeah, Benji. How you do, man? You feel good? I'm going to make some spinach when we're done. I don't set it up already, unless you want to switch your machine on. But I don't set it, you know what I mean? I put 2 dates in my one because, yeah. And you have to add some coconut water in that. That may I work it with. You understand? The spinach, yeah, spinach and coconut water. And a spoonful of moringa. You see it there on the screen? Come on.
We Babylon, Babylon, hey, we Babylon, hey, all them a touch.
Pop it, pop it, pop it.
We Babylon, Babylon, hey, we Babylon, hey, all them a touch, them never talk about me, all them a want, them never want me, all them a write, them never write about me, all them a look, them never look for me, but as I get the boom shaka attack, you see the people them just a look back. Journalists from foreign come to interview me. Camera bottom, camera top, and camera run me. Camera bottom, camera top, and camera run me. Only the country want me put on icky, she just a icky me nigga icky all over. Icky me nigga icky all over. Room full, all full, steady and full. The people them come just to get them belly full. Why? Room full, all full, steady and full. The people them come just to get them belly full. Them just a icky me nigga icky all over. Icky me nigga icky all over. The people them know me as a odd number. Many girls them come up to be my lover. All of them want come right under me cover. So the girls in the city like my feel. And them just a icky me nigga icky all over. Them just a icky me nigga icky all over. Photograph, autograph me now show up. Photograph, autograph me now show up. It's like yakri yak, yakri yak, yakri yak, yak.
Artist guy Wayne Smith. Come, my son, come.
Life is a moment in space when a dream is gone. It's a lonely place. I kiss the morning goodbye, but deep down inside, you will never know why. The road is narrow and long when eyes meet eyes, and the feeling is strong. You turned away from the wall. I stumbles and fall, and I take it all. I am a man in love. I am a man in love, and I will do anything to get you into my world. Yes, and I will do anything. Oh yeah.
Sid, we are talking about reggae music, plays of instrument. Come again. Wayne Smith. Yeah.
Oh, why?
Jolly, jolly, jolly.
Why, God?
See, anybody knows the tip of tone and anybody knows the 4 aces. You know what I mean? You know the bubbling was going on. You know what I mean? We set the standard. Come. Sean Rankin. May God forgive you, man. Oh, gosh, man.
Oh, why, God?
Wayne Smith.
Whoa. Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Well, now, come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Well, now, say the girl she a come right in her booty.
Yeah, you see me? I get a whole heap of sound man them ideas, you know. Because I'm a fraud. See? Pure ideas we are giving you. Watch it, man. Wayne Smith. Come again.
Why, whoa, why, whoa.
Them.
Why, oh yeah.
Sing, man. Sing.
Sit down on me yard, think you know life
Yo, Benji. Benji. Yeah.
Why, whoa? Why, whoa? Why? Oh, yes. Sit down on me yard, thinking no life hard. The Eden come on me yard. Say, mister, I'm gonna mash you down. I'm gonna put you in a hole. I'm gonna step on you. The Eden wants every righteous man to go down. The Eden wants every righteous man to go down. He looked at me and he looked at his gun. He say, my enemy, now your life is done. Cause when this bullet from this 45 and lick your glassy dead, you won't be alive. Tired fi take pure fence, Lord. Tired fi tear out me pants length. Tired fi take pure fence, Lord. Tired fi run out of breath. I go to the east, it's the same something. I go to the west, it's the same something. Everywhere I go, it's the same something.
Good boy, me I tell you, man. Tipper, you're good, man. Come again. Win. Yo, don't mash my corner on. Benji.
Retaliation. Chibam, boy. Chibam, hey. Chibam, boy. Chibam, hey. See them come and you see them run. Vibes of the living make them run. Now is the night you don't see the sun. You see the living dead, they must screech, coming like a dragon. Want to burn us to watch each other water. Come and it's hard in the heart. Modern time, I say knowledge is crazy. Scientists are do things as them leaders. Nuclear weapon and the bomb in the air. To the human race, I say it's coming to fear. Like a dragon, want to burn us to watch each other watching.
See, them don't know how to draw them. You understand? Yes, hey, them mentally redundant, me I tell you, man. Me I help them, you know, me I help some of them, but them don't want to pay me money. Because me I give them good education in a sound. Come! Passive resistance. Retaliation. I dance with charge for you know. I tell you, man, we road. Step it. Retaliation. No resistance. Retaliation. Come! Chibam, boy. Chibam, hey. Chibam, boy. Chibam, hey. See them come and you see them run. Vibes of the living make them run. Now is the night you don't see the sun. You see the living dead, they must screech, coming like a dragon. Want to burn us to watch each other watching. See, our energy we put out there for the young people, them, you know. The man them gone some place in Europe and everything. Wait, hey, on a craze, man. I tell you, come back home. You miss it? Home. Come back to London. You understand? Seriously. Energy. Come. Big boy. Retaliation. And me set standards. Standards not come to me, you know. Me set them. You know, not follow nobody trend. And me is the setter. What? Retaliation. Energy. Chibam, boy. Chibam, hey. Chibam, boy. Mr. Best. Come, man. Energy. Oh, gosh, man.
Dedicated to the one.
Settle, Marcia, settle.
Dedicated to the one I love. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye. Oh, no, no. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye to me, bye to me, bye to me. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye. Oh, no, no. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye to me, bye to me, bye to me. You are my heart.
Yeah, may I get ideas, not true? You see? Your punk coat. May I get too much ideas. Come.
Dedicated to the one.
Request to the man called Brokeback. Yes, Benji.
Dedicated to the one I love. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye. Oh, no, no. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye to me, bye to me, bye to me. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye. Oh, no, no. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye to me, bye to me, bye to me. You are my heart and everything I dreamt of, and I'll never do nothing to ever broke your heart.
Teach.
I say people they try just to keep us apart, but let us show them that this love will never end. 'Cause ain't no meaning of saying goodbye. Oh, no, no. Ain't no meaning of saying goodbye to me, bye to me, bye to me.
Yeah, what a song, man. Misappropriation. Who you deal with? Come here.
What a fun in the country.
Teach.
What a fun in the country. Galang, galang, galang. What a fun in the country. What a fun in the country. Galang, galang, galang. Most DJ them a talk about them a DJ daddy. Most DJ them a talk about them a DJ daddy. But them now.
Yo, liquid. May I tell you, man. Ready.
What a fun in the country. What a fun in the country. Galang, galang, galang. What a fun in the country. What a fun in the country. Galang, galang, galang. Most DJ them a talk about them a DJ daddy. Most DJ them a talk about them a DJ daddy. But them not see nothing. We educate way. So come crowd of people while you listen to me. Every day we get a hustle from the SPG. They stop you anyway, take a damn liberty. Now the Labour Party, I try to help we. When the Tory a kick we out the country. The woman me attack at the iron lady. She get a little help from the NF party. Now the council a take a big liberty. Them a give black people the worst property. Like Nightingale and Kingsley say in a Hackney. Me no want figure end up in a bad property. They kill Colin Rush in a the place to keep. In a 81 them riot down a Brixton City. They don't a day fall fire destroy party. Me teaching you the roots and the reality. Right now we need a prophet like Marcus Garvey. The iron lady she no easy. The iron lady she no easy, Lord. The iron lady.
You see, when you have education, you understand, and you know where you come from, and you have a defense, and that you will get constantly. You understand? But me, I miss it still. You know what I mean? It a go come. So we got August now, we then finish, and we come September, and we have October. So we have enough birthday, enough celebration, enough remembrance, and everything to go on. So we're going to be hotting up the scene. Oh, gosh, man.
He doesn't identify himself with your plight whatsoever. And this is the thing that the white people in America have got to come to realize, that there are two types of black people in this country. One who identifies with you so much so he will let you brutalize him and still beg you for a chance to sit next to you. And then there's one who's not interested in sitting next to you. He's not interested in being around. He's not interested in what you have. He wants something of his own. He wants to sit someplace where he can call his own. He doesn't want a seat in your restaurant where you can give him some old bad coffee or bad food. He wants his own restaurant. And he wants some land that he can build that restaurant on, and a city that can go in. He wants something of his own. And when you realize that this type of thinking is existing and developing swiftly, behind the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad among the so-called Negroes, then I think you'll also realize that this whole phony effort at integration is no solution, because the most you can do with this phony effort toward integration is to put out some token integration. And whereas this Uncle Tom will accept your token effort, the masses of black people in this country are no more interested in token integration than they would be if you offered them a chance to sit inside a furnace somewhere. The only one who will do that is this 20th century Uncle Tom. And you can always tell him because he wants to be next to you. He wants to eat with you. He wants to sleep with you. He wants to marry your woman, marry your mother, marry your sister, marry your daughter, and if you watch him close enough, he's even after your wife. This type has blind faith in your religion. He's not interested in any religion of his own. He believes in a white Jesus, white Mary, white angels, and he's trying to get to a white heaven. When you listen to him in his church sing, he sings a song, I think they call it, "Wash Me White as Snow." He wants to be turned white so he can go to heaven with a white man. It's not his fault. It's actually not his fault. But this is the state of his mind. This is the result of 400 years of brainwashing here in America. You have taken a man who is black on the outside and made him white on the inside. His brain is white as snow. His heart is white as snow. And therefore, whenever you say this is ours, he thinks he's white the same as you. So what's yours, he thinks it's also his. Even right on down to your woman. Now, many of them will take offense at my implying that he wants your woman. They'll say, no, this is what Bilbo and Talmadge and all of the white citizens' councils say. They say that to fool you. If this is not what they want, watch them. And if you find evidence to the contrary, then I'll take back my word. But all you have to do is give him a chance to get near you. And you'll find that he is not satisfied until he's sitting next to your woman or closer to her than that. So, what the Honorable, in this type of Negro, usually he hates black and loves white. He doesn't want to be black. He wants to be white. And he'll get on his bended knees and beg you for integration, which means he would rather rather than live with his own kind who love him, he'll force himself to live in neighborhoods around white people whom he knows don't mean him any good. And again I say, this is not his fault. He is sick. And as long as America listens to this sick Negro who is begging to be integrated into the American society, despite the fact that the attitude and actions of whites are sufficient proof that he is not wanted, why then you are actually allowing him to force you into a position where you look just as sick as he looks. If someone holds a gun on a white man and makes him embrace me, put his arm around me, this isn't love, nor is it brotherhood. What they're doing is forcing the white man to be a hypocrite, to practice hypocrisy. But if that white man will put his arm around me willingly, voluntarily, of his own volition, then that's love, that's brotherhood, that's a solution to the problem. Likewise, as long as the government has to get out here and legislate to force Negroes into a white neighborhood, or force Negroes into a white school, or force Negroes into white industry, and make white people pretend that they go for this, all the government is doing is making white people be hypocrites. And rather than be classified as a bigot by putting a block, the average white person actually would rather put up a hypocritical face, the face of a hypocrite, than to tell the black man, no, you stay over there and let me stay over here. So that's no solution. As long as you force people to act in a hypocritical way, you'll never solve that problem. It has to be, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a solution has to be devised that'll be satisfactory, completely satisfactory to the black man and completely satisfactory to the white man. And the only thing that makes white people completely satisfied and black people completely satisfied when they're in their right mind is when the black man has his own and the white man has his own. You have what you need, we have what we need. And then both of us have something, and even the Bible says, God bless the child that has his own. And the poor so-called Negro doesn't have his own name, doesn't have his own language, doesn't have his own culture, doesn't have his own history, he doesn't have his own country, he doesn't even have his own mind. And he thinks that he's black because God cursed him. He's not black because God cursed him. He's black because, rather he's cursed because he's out of his mind. He has lost his mind. He has a white mind instead of the type of mind that he should have. So, when these so-called Negroes who want integration try and force themselves into the white society, which doesn't solve the problem. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that that type of Negro is the one that creates the problem. And the type of white person who perpetuates the problem is the one who poses as a liberal and pretends that the Negro should be integrated. And as long as he integrates someone else's neighborhood. But all these whites that you see running around here talking about how liberal they are and we believe everybody should have what they want and go where they want and do what they want. As soon as a Negro moves into that white liberal's neighborhood, that white liberal he moves out faster than the white bigot from Mississippi, Alabama, and from someplace else. So we won't solve the problem listening to that Uncle Tom Negro, and the problem won't be solved listening to this so-called white liberal. The only time the problem is going to be solved is when a black man can sit down like a black man and a white man can sit down like a white man and make no excuses whatsoever with each other in discussing the problem. No offense will stem from factors that are brought up, but both of them have to sit down like men, on one side and on the other side, and look at it in terms of black and white, and then take some kind of solution based upon the factors that we see rather than upon that which we would like to believe. And when I say that this Negro wants to force his way into the white man's family, this integrationist-minded Negro wants to force his way into the white man's family, some don't believe that. Some take issue with that. But you take all of the integrationists, all of the those who are used to finance the program of the integrationists, the average so-called Negro celebrity, put all of them in one pot. And as fast as you name them off, you'll find that every one of them is married either to a white woman or a white man. From Lena Horne, Eartha Kitt, Sammy Davis, and you could name them all night long. Although they say that this is not what we want, that's what they've done. That's what they have. And we don't, the black masses don't want what Lena Horne wants, or what Sammy Davis wants, or what, who's his name, the rest of them want. Usually you'll find that before Sammy Davis and Lena Horne and Eartha Kitt and Harry Belafonte become involved in a mixed marriage, you could go into the Negro community, anyone across the country, and find those stars with records on the jukeboxes in the Negro community. You can't walk into a Negro community today and find anybody that the Negro community knows is involved in a mixed marriage with their records being popular in the Negro community. Subconsciously, a Negro doesn't have any respect or regard or confidence, or nor can he be moved by a black man who marries a white woman, or a black woman who marries a white man. And when they put out that picture to you that all of us want your woman, no, just that 20th century Uncle Tom. He wants her. And then when you think you're going to solve your problem by pleasing him, you're only making the problem worse. You have to go back and listen to the problem as it is for the black people, not by these hand-picked handful of Uncle Toms who benefit from token integration. Also, this type of so-called Negro, by being intoxicated over the white man, he never sees beyond the white man. He never sees beyond America. He never looks at himself or where he fits into things on the world stage. He only can see himself here in America, on the American stage or the white stage, where the white man is in the majority, where the white man is the boss. So this type of Negro always feels like he's outnumbered, or he's the underdog, or he's the minority. And it puts him in the role of a beggar, cowardly, humble, Uncle Tom and beggar on anything that he says is that should be his by right. Whereas there is, when it comes, he wants to be an American rather than to be black. He wants to be something other than what he is. And knowing that America is a white country, he knows he can't be black and be an American too. So he never calls himself black. He calls himself an American Negro, a Negro in America. And usually he'll deny his own race, his own color, just to be a second-class American. He'll deny his own history, his own culture. He'll deny all of his brothers and sisters in Africa, in Asia, in the East, just to be a second-class American. He denies everything that he represents, or that everything that was in his past, just to be accepted into a country and into a government that has rejected him ever since he was brought here. So this Negro is sick. He has to be sick to try and force himself among some people who don't want him, or to be accepted into a government that has used its entire political system and educational system to keep him relegated to the role of a second-class citizen. And therefore, he spends a lifetime begging for acceptance into the same government that made slaves of his people. He gives his life for a country that made his people slaves and still confines them to the role of second-class citizens. And we feel that he wastes his time begging white politicians, political hypocrites, for civil rights or for some kind of first-class citizenship. He's like a watchdog or a hound dog. You may run into a dog. No matter how vicious a dog is, you find him out in the street, he won't bite you. But when you get him up on the porch, he will growl. He'll take your leg. Now that dog, when he's out in the street, only his own life is threatened. And he's never been trained to protect himself. He's only been trained by his master to think in terms of what's good for his master. So when you catch him in the street and you threaten him, he'll go around you. But when you come up through the gate when he's sitting on the master's porch, then he'll bare his fangs and get ready to bite you. Not because you're threatening him, but because you're threatening his master, who has trained him not to protect himself, but to protect the property of the master. And this type of 20th century Uncle Tom is the same way. He'll never attack you, but he'll attack me. I can run into him out in the street and blast him. He won't say a word. But if I look like I'm about to blast you in here, he'll open up his mouth and put up a better defense for you than you can put up for yourself. Because he hasn't been trained to defend himself. He has only been trained to open up his mouth in defense of his master. He hasn't been educated, he's been trained. When a man is educated, he can think for himself and defend himself and speak for himself. But this 20th century Uncle Tom Negro never opens up his mouth in defense of a black man. He opens up his mouth in defense of the white man, in defense of America, in defense of the American government. He doesn't even know where his government is because he doesn't know that he ever had one. He doesn't know where his country is because he doesn't know that he ever had one. He believes in exactly what he was taught in school, that when he was kidnapped by the white man, he was a savage in the jungle someplace, eating people and throwing spears and with a bone in his nose. And the average American Negro has that concept of the African continent. It is not his fault. This is what has been given to him by the American educational
guidance. One after this, we're gone. Young Delroy Wilson. Now those books on screen is available at the Beacon Bookshop, Straw Green Road. Yes, man, Finsbury Park, still there. You need the support is requested and need, and you know what I mean? Because one of our greatest monuments still there. Education, okay. I tell you, you understand? See? On screen, right there, Finsbury Park, Straw Green Road, Beacon Bookshop. There, man. Young ones, them, is in charge. They also have online support and everything, distribution and everything. So support it one way or the other. You understand? But it'd be nice if you visit it. I'm telling you.
Away illiteracy. It's time I act intelligently to show them our revenge is sweet. From I was a boy, I bear this name. Now I am a man. They call it the same name. A girl have a son for me just the other day. I can't can't let me walk come here, think about me. Tell them, one.
Yes, so we're going, serious thing. So that was Delroy Wilson, young one. Where I do good, I feel, say, yes. With my daughters, them there. Oh, put them aside. Okay. So, yeah, man, those books, Beacon Bookshop. You understand? Seriously. Guys, listen carefully. Yes, listen carefully.
Listen, everybody's talking about walking by faith.
Listen.
Y'all know what that really means? Walking by faith and not by sight is just one part of the faith walk. Y'all got to understand, faith without works is dead. You know what that means? You can't expect what you believing for without doing your part. You gotta work that thing, honey. It's not just gonna drop out of the sky. You got to put your time in. You got to ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that, so you can do what you supposed to do and excel in it. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you. What you waiting on? Do your part. God ain't gonna do everything for you. And this is where you gotta stay focused, because things are gonna happen that's gonna make it seem like your vision is not gonna happen. But stay focused, because God is always gonna send you a ram and a bush. But sometimes God gonna have to see, how bad do you want it? It's gonna be nice that you got to cry. It's gonna be nice that you feel hopeless and helpless. And in those moments, watch God send you a little angel. He's gonna cause you to be at the right place at the right time. Worry about what you can do. Nothing else. Just do your part and watch God meet you halfway. Do you believe that? Now I'm trying to give you some news that you can use. Is you listening? Do you hear me? Or are you just sitting over there worried about that I'm only 5? See, don't miss the message because of the messenger. Get this word and apply it to your life. The only reason why I can talk about this is because, honey, I'm living it. Nothing came to me easily. I had to work hard and stay dedicated. And then things start opening up for me. Now, I'm not bragging. God gets the glory out of my story. He give me the strength every day to do what I got to do. And he can do it for you too. All you got to do is ask for it. Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 say, ask and then you will receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open for you. Stop sitting around acting like you waiting on God. Baby, God waiting on you. All right now.
I've been trying a long time, still I can't make it. Everything I try to do seems to go wrong. It seems I have done something wrong, while they're trying to keep me down. Oh, God bless, no one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Better must come one day. Better must come. They can't conquer me. Better must come, yeah. I've been trying a long can't make it. No one to keep me in helping hand. They only trying to keep me down. Oh, God bless, no one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Oh, my people can't see. They try to take advantage of me. Better must come. Better must come, yeah. Better must come one day. Better must come. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've been trying a long, long time, still I can't make it. Everything I try to do seems to go wrong. It seems I have done something wrong. Why they trying to keep me down? Oh, God bless, no one curse. Thank God I'm not the worst. Better must come one day. Better must come. They can't conquer me. Better must come one day. Better must come. Oh, better must come one day. Better must come. I better must come. Better must come. Better must come.
Yes, guidance, we're gone. So give thanks. Tell a friend. Share. You understand me? So God willing, we see you this Thursday. You know what I mean? Share what we are dealing with, you know. Come on, man. Even when I think about it, it now work. You saying? Share. Give thanks. We're gone.